What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. I just noticed that I didn't have something that I normally have ready, and last moment right before the show. I was kind of scrambling a little bit. Had a little bit of a you do not believe in atheism, huh, Kevin Sawyer? Here, let me throw that up there. So you don't believe in atheism, huh? Oh, it's real. I was there and done that for much of my life, but I don't recommend it. It does not come highly recommended. I had a little bit of a butt pucker right before the beginning of the show here, and fortunately was able to get on top of what was going on pretty quickly. So I looked at radar box because hearing some odd air traffic over above us. We got our windows open. It's only the end of February. I mean, 80-degree day. Hey, it's I had my shirt off for most of the day, to tell you the truth. But I heard some kind of odd air traffic going on above, and so I pulled up radar box. I took a peek, and I saw a bunch of flights that said diverted, and they were all heading towards St. Louis, airport, Lambert Airport. And it almost looked like they were avoiding going any further west, or east, I mean. And I thought, oh crap, what the hell could be going on? And then I noticed, after clicking on the different individual planes, that they were all coming, or they were all supposed to be landing in Chicago. And so then I'm like, if they get nuked, that's fine. No. I wasn't thinking that. I knew that there was storms moving through tonight, and so sure enough, I pulled up the weather radar, and some pretty nasty-looking storms up there right near Chicago right now. So that's what's up with that. Didn't realize it's until just a little earlier this evening. It's leap year, and I have my middle son, Brett. He was born on February 28th, but he was actually, his due date was actually the 29th, which, of course, it was leap year that year. And I was hoping so much that he'd have held out one more day and been a leap year baby. I don't know. He may have not appreciated that, but that's what I was hoping for, but almost. But yes, Brett was almost a leap year baby. His birthday's tomorrow, and my youngest son, Rafal's birthday was actually yesterday, the 26th. So it's a very trying few days for me. I don't have a lot good I can say in regards to my ex-wife and her nonsense for thinking that they didn't need their father in their life. I just hope my Father in heaven, the Creator, Yah, I just hope He's got my back. And I hope that, I'm not somebody that is afraid to say, I hope somehow she suffers so greatly. It is what it is. I mean, it's been 2014 since I've seen him. January 14th, 2014. I remember the day. In fact, I remember the last words I said to both of my children. It's absolutely ridiculous what she pulled, and all because she couldn't get her way. All because I was putting my foot down on her anger issue. And one way or another, I was going to have her get help somehow. It was ridiculous. Me and the boys went for about 2 weeks, and she was just out of her damn mind. And believe me, I've got hours and hours of footage, video and audio of it. Not only that, not only from that prior 2 weeks to when I had to leave them, but years prior, I've got tons. But unfortunately, we live in such a society with such a court system that they won't even hear it. None of it matters. The truth simply does not matter. And that's probably why I'm a bit OCD and I have a hang up about the truth. I have a hang up about people who lie. It's probably why. That's why lies disgust me so much. It is what it is. I hope and pray that someday those boys will reach out. I really do. I know Brett's old enough now. He's legally an adult. He can reach out anytime he pleases. And he's been an adult for a year. Rafal's got a little way to go yet before he's a legal adult. And my hope is that after Rafal passes the age of 18, that they contact me. Last I had heard, my ex wouldn't even let my older son with her. I've got one older yet from another woman. But last I had heard, he still hadn't had a driver's license, and more or less she prevents him from getting a driver's license. And I am convinced that that's because she's concerned he might seek me out. So it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, let me move on from that, because that'll put me in a dark place I really don't want to be. Crazy day in news. A few statements being made by a few individuals quickly had a bunch of other individuals backing the truck up as quickly and loudly as they could, because their statements could have gotten us started into World War III. And I mean, I'm talking a hard, kinetic World War III. So it was, I guess we'll go ahead and jump on into it. I kind of put myself in a dark place inadvertently. And it is what it is. Anyway, let me bring up the web view here. We got, by the way, we do have some nasty storms that may be hitting overnight. It's not an absolute guaranteed thing. I will, though, real quick, kind of show you a little bit of what's going on here. And I just got my local site, news website up. So we're like right in that area there. So we got stuff moving in. I've already got the Big Eagle Flow. It's down there. And the desk is hooked up. With the except Jen's computer's not hooked up to it. But literally everything, all the monitors, my computer, the one of the security system monitors there. And then in the back, we've got all the internet stuff and the security system stuff that's back there. That's all plugged into the smaller unit. So if power goes out, won't be no big deal. So anyway, the planes that were diverting, and I guess I could have brought that up too. Showed you a little bit of what's up with that. Stop back up there in Chicago, because that's where I was up there looking. I don't know if it's going to show anymore or not. There's one that said diverting. Another that said diverting. So there's a couple. Yeah. Diverting here. If we click on that, it shows. Oops. We click on that, we see that it was a. Oh wait. Oh, Airbus. Yeah, it was going to Chicago there. So that one was going to Chicago. Oh, what the heck is that? Freaking huge ass plane. Anyway, that was one up there, and then I saw one down here that said diverting. I guess it's this one, maybe? No, I guess not. Oh, maybe they landed. It's the AA317, so that was another one. So, and there were several others a moment ago that had the diverting tag on them. I guess most of them are probably down by now. But, yeah. And my guess is, I'm sure that there's probably map options and overlays, nav aids, waypoints, airports, aircraft. I was thinking that weather would be one that they would let me access. I would imagine they would. It's just a matter of knowing. Weather. Duh. Oh, and they lock most of that too. So they didn't lock that, whatever that is. Oh, volcanic eruptions. Yeah, I don't think that's what we need to be worried about. Yeah, so they got the weather part locked. Anyway, got KMOV over here, and while we don't have a real super good radar of up by Chicago, you can see that there's pretty nasty storm hitting Chicago right now. So that would be why those aircraft are diverting. So anywho, more to what we're here to talk about. This is an article. I actually put this out last night. I think it might have been after the show. Right on, here, let me put that up there. Right on, brother. And he's the only way. The Father is the only way that that I can make it through that. Absolutely. Yep. It would be the storms Friday. At first I was thinking, when I first saw, because there was a lot more planes that showed diverted when I first looked, and I thought, holy cow, what is going on? Because I've actually never seen that before. I thought, holy cow, what is going on? And then once I realized, it was like, oh, thank goodness it wasn't something going stupid. Because you never know, especially with the way these idiots are speaking out. Some of them, anyway. So this is pretty much how everything started out that caused all the different countries today to feel like they needed to make statements. NATO troops in Ukraine can't be ruled out, says Macron. It says here, French President Emmanuel Macron has argued that deployments of troops to Ukraine by NATO members and other allies cannot be ruled out because Western powers must stop at nothing to ensure that Russia does not defeat Kiev's forces. There is no consensus today to send, in an official manner, troops on the ground, Macron told reporters after hosting a meeting of European leaders on Monday in Paris. But in terms of dynamics, we cannot exclude anything. We will do everything necessary to prevent Russia from winning this war. France hosted Monday's summit of Ukraine backers to demonstrate. Okay, I did read this last night. I'm actually remembering reading this last night. For the show, that is. I was thinking I might have shared it out afterwards. I didn't sleep real well last night. Pain, and I'm going to be honest, just everything with the boys and stuff. I think I finally fell asleep around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I had actually came in here about, I don't know, 12:30 or so last night. I just, because I didn't want to keep her up, tossing and turning, and I have to have TV on or some kind of background noise to go to sleep. And I didn't want to keep her up. So I went ahead and came in here, and I actually worked on painting aircraft in Substance Painter for a little while. And I think I laid down around 1:30, fell asleep maybe about 2, and then I was up by I was kind of up and down about 5 o'clock. I was kind of up and down for a little bit, and then I think Jen came in here in the living room about 6:30 or something, 6:30, and that's when I went ahead and got up. So I'm running on just a little sleep today, so bear with me on that. Yeah, I think I did read this article last night. It might have been the last article I read. However, the article that I cannot find is there was an article where somebody from Italy came out loud and proud and said that they backed Macron on what he said. I can't find that article now. It's like poof. Hang on, coffee. I have one where they're clearly stating no. So this is the French PM that backs Macron. It says French Prime Minister Gabriel Attal has echoed suggestions that Western military personnel could be deployed to Ukraine after President Emmanuel Macron vowed on Monday to do everything necessary to prevent Russia from winning this war. Speaking to the RTL broadcaster on Tuesday, Attal argued that you can't rule anything out in a war, repeating several talking points Macron had made following a meeting on the Ukraine conflict one day previously. There's no consensus today to send, in an official manner, troops on the ground, Macron had said. I'm reading the same quote as I did a while ago. Let me go on. According to the French leader, a Russian victory in Ukraine conflict would be a major blow for European collective security. Responding on Tuesday to the statements, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov warned that in this case, we have to talk not about the probability, but rather the inevitability of a direct conflict between NATO and Russia, should Western military personnel be deployed in Ukraine. So, and I'll go ahead and move it, because if I continue to read on, it's going to start going into other articles I have open here. So, Italy, and this is the one that's kind of, backwalking, or however you want to say it. I wished I could find that article, because I had an article. In fact, I swear I tweeted it out. Like last night, like overnight, I tweeted it out, and it's gone, which is odd. I mean, like, not even on Twitter, as in gone. It says here, we are not at war with Russia, says Italy. Says Italy is not at war with Russia and has no plans to send troops to Ukraine, Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani clarified on Tuesday. The remarks were part of a wave of denial from NATO nations about harboring any plans to deploy troops on behalf of Kiev in its fight against Moscow. Italy's continuing support for Ukraine does not include such an option, Tajani insisted. When we talk about sending troops, we must be very cautious because we must not make people think we are at war with Russia, he explained. We are not at war with Russia. The political firestorm has sparked by comments French President Emmanuel Macron made on Monday. Speaking to reporters following a meeting of European leaders to Paris, Macron said, I'm not going to repeat what he said a 10th time. So, I just have a sneaky suspicion that military intelligence started detecting moves. I'll say moves, and things being shifted, maybe things being done. Possibly they intercepted some communications. Because this is the first time since the entire conflict started that I have seen so many nations, as quickly as they can get to a camera or get to reporters, making statements to the contrary of what Macron said. Up until now, we have seen pretty much nothing but egging on from the different nations. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of holding back. But for some reason, this time, when Macron said that, all these other nations ran as quick as they could. I mean, they scrambled to be able to put out announcements that that was not their intent. So I kind of have a feeling there was something that was picked up on. And, you know, I think they think that Putin was definitely in a FAFO moment. I'll put it that way. No plans to send Western troops to Ukraine, says Germany. Western troops will not be deployed to Ukraine, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has insisted after French President Emmanuel Macron suggested that this possibility cannot be ruled out. Now, Germany is one of the countries that has really been strong in their support for Ukraine. I mean, really, really strong. According to Scholz, it was clear from a meeting in Paris on Monday that fellow European leaders have no appetite to send soldiers to support Kiev. Speaking at a press conference following a gathering of Kiev's backers in the French capital, no, I'm not going to repeat what Macron said again. Speaking to reporters at Freiburg on Tuesday, Scholz stressed there will be no ground troops, no soldiers on Ukrainian soil who are sent there by European or NATO countries in the future. He also pointed out that active-duty Western military personnel are currently prohibited from taking part in the Ukraine conflict. According to Scholz, the leaders who met in Paris on Monday were unanimous as far as this question is concerned. So again, I want to point out they are really coming out in force and denying any notion about this. And this is the first time I have seen such a strong, walking back away from the situation. I really do think that there is some type of intelligence that led them to believe that they better be doing this. They better be backing off. Don't know what, have no idea what, but this is the first time since the whole Ukraine conflict started that I've seen anything like this. This article here says NATO countries refuse to back Macron's troops in Ukraine claim. Let me have a sip of coffee. And this one's going to wrap up several countries. Says the UK, Poland, Czech Republic, Finland, and Sweden all spoke up on Tuesday against French President Emmanuel Macron's suggestion that Western troops could be deployed to Ukraine. While there was no consensus about sending ground forces, Macron said on Monday, following a pro-Ukraine summit in Paris, that in terms of dynamics, we cannot exclude anything in the conflict between Moscow and Kiev. And of course, I just read what the dude said again. Sorry about that. There are no plans for NATO combat troops on the ground in Ukraine, the Secretary General of U.S.-led bloc Jens Stoltenberg told AP in response to Macron's remarks. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak did not rule out sending troops in principle, but his spokesperson told reporters that beyond the small number of personnel in the country supporting the armed forces of Ukraine, we do not have any plans to make a large-scale deployment. And it goes on, I don't know if I said all the countries or not. Yeah, I did. UK, Poland, Czech Republic, Finland, Sweden, all of them had come out and said that no, we don't have any plans for this whatsoever. UK PM rules out large-scale Ukraine troop deployment. So again, and this is a statement from Rishi Sunak, so I'm not going to continue to keep repeating the same statements over and over, but This is the first time. Howdy, Paladin, if I'm saying your name correctly. It's stupid what they're doing, isn't it, brother? I mean, I don't support war in any aspect. I don't support stuff like that. But I have common sense, and I don't know. Boss Prepping put out a video earlier, kind of asking the question of what was really up. And I don't know, man. There is part of me that believes that at least the Western nations, and I honestly don't know if Russia's in on it or not, but some part of me believes that the Western nations are trying to deplete as much ammunition from as many different nations as possible. When I say ammunition, I'm not talking about just bullets. I'm talking about everything from artillery and you name it. My fear is what they're doing is they're depleting many different countries' war stocks, and then they're going to have some type of grand announcement at some point, and more or less that's going to be our whole New World Order thing. And I know it's a tinfoil hat subject, but I definitely will let my mind wander, because you have to. If you want to be truly ready, you have to play those what-if games. And I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. What they're doing doesn't make sense. I put out that video earlier this morning where Denmark is telling their people that they're going to have to tighten their belts. And it's like, how much tighter do you expect them to do so? I mean, it's so crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's almost like they're trying to weaken the entire nation. When I say nation, I mean nations. But they're not just weakening the military. They're not just weakening the financial systems. It seems like they're also doing everything they can to weaken the citizens as well. I mean, it really does seem like they're trying to put everybody on their knees in almost every aspect. And the only reason why I could think that they would do that to so many nations at the same time is if they have some big Hegelian dialectic plan that they're going to walk us into. I don't know. It's just not. It's not good. I know that. Actually, moving through these really quick tonight. That's because most of my articles up all had to do with the same thing, pretty much. Tucker Carlson chiming in, and wow, something I do not have up in articles to read about, although there was one there. Tucker Carlson had come out and said that it was pretty much insane the level of spying that the United States was doing on him when he was in Russia. I don't know if he's going to be releasing. I didn't read the entire article I saw. I don't know if he's actually got any type of recording of because apparently he did speak with Edward Snowden. I don't know if he recorded an interview with him or not. I know he was going to, but I don't know if he actually was able to, because all that I had a chance to read was that he was 100% certain that they were definitely intercepting his communications, and that's just insane. I mean, just absolutely insane. It's Tucker Carlson. He's not by any means a traitor. He's a journalist. I mean, by every sense of the word, and a true journalist, not somebody that just is interested in one side. I got a lot of respect. I don't have a whole lot of respect for a lot of the media out there. I have a ton of respect for Tucker Carlson. Probably one of the very few that I do. But mainstream that is. Anyway, the article here says most Americans naively believe that Ukraine could defeat Russia because the media has told them so. Independent journalist Tucker Carlson said on Tuesday, "What the U.S. has done has harmed both Ukrainians and Americans," he added. Carlson spent 8 days in Moscow earlier this month and interviewed Russian President Vladimir Putin on February 8th. He looked back at that conversation during a 3-hour podcast hosted by Lex Fridman. "I reject the whole premise of the war in Ukraine from the American perspective," Carlson added. "There's a war going on that is wrecking the U.S. economy in a way and at a scale that people do not understand. The current policy of the American government is only accelerating the demise of the dollar, and the world is resetting to the great disadvantage of the U.S., Carlson said. According to him, for the past 2 years, the U.S. media have insisted that Kiev can win, and it took an encounter with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban last August to jolt him into reality. "It doesn't even matter what I want to happen. That's a distortion of what is happening," Carlson told Fridman. "Russia has 100 million more people and more industry than all of NATO combined," he added. Carlson revealed that he feels sorry for Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky because he's caught between these forces that are bigger than he is. A victory for Kiev would be to not get obliterated, he added, and that almost happened in March 2022 when Zelensky almost made peace with Russia. Then the U.S. dispatched British PM Boris Johnson to stop it, Carlson noted. The U.S. journalist again confirmed that Johnson demanded $1 million to do an interview, calling the former PM a sad, rapacious fraud. I never heard that word before. Anyway, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Oops, wrong one. I absolutely agree with you, Jason. Brass ones, and I mean huge brass ones. right, Kevin. Right on. I believe it's R.A.P. R.A.P. It's R.A.P. Rapacious. Here, I'll look it up. Oh, man. Covetous, excessively grasping or covetous. For example, he describes the world of finance as a casino full of rapacious capitalists. Or living on prey, living by preying on other animals, especially by catching living prey. For example, the rapacious wolf. So there you go. That's our English class for this evening. I was actually, that art, I think it was the art, yeah, the one I did this morning. I actually, for like probably the first time since I've been doing this, I'm serious, I looked up all the names that was in there to try to get some kind of an idea of how they were pronounced, because I thought the way what I would normally say Francis, I thought was supposed to be pronounced Francois, and that's correct, or somewhere close to correct, but it was the last name that really got me, because I would have said Holland, but it wasn't. It was, I think, Lond. Yeah, it's like I guess the H-O-L or whatever silent, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Let me have a sip of coffee. I got one more article pulled up. Grammar, not grandma. Ah, fun time. One moment. Okay. Let's see. Last article I have in here is insanity. Dang it, go up, ad, get away. It's Reuters exclusive. Extremism is U.S. voters' greatest worry. A Reuters Ipsos poll finds. Extremism. Now, it's not so much that I doubt that, but I have a feeling that this is going to be reported on the extremism that it claims is on one side, but it's not even going to touch upon, and I haven't read this article. I have no idea what the article says. It's, I want to have to read it once. And I'm not joking. I only want to have to read it once. Worries about political extremism or threats to democracy has emerged as a top concern for U.S. voters and an issue where President Joe Biden has a slight advantage over Donald Trump ahead of the November election, a new Reuters Ipsos poll showed. See, I told you, be one direction. Not the band either. Some 21% of respondents in the three-day poll, which closed on Sunday, said political extremism or threats to democracy was the biggest problem facing the U.S., a share that was marginally higher than those who picked the economy, 19%, and immigration, 18%. So these folks are clearly only polling one side of the aisle, because you cannot convince me. You can't convince me for anything that only 18% of Red Team thinks that immigration is an issue. I'll bet you north of 50% of Red Team would say that immigration is an issue, a big issue. So this, again, clearly a very, very slanted poll, like most of them. Biden's Democrats considered extremism by far the number one issue, while Trump's Republicans overwhelmingly chose immigration. Well, this says it, but extremism was independents' top concern, cited by almost a third of independent respondents, followed by immigration, cited by about 1 in 5, the economy ranked third. During and since his presidency, Trump has kept up a steady drumbeat of criticism of U.S. institutions, claiming the 4 criminal prosecutions he faces are politically motivated and holding to his false claims that the 2020 election defeat was the result of widespread fraud. You know, I'm not even a fan of Trump. But come on, I'm a fan of the truth. Come on. And here's where it really jumps off the cliff. And sure, we could argue, we could bicker back and forth about who had what votes and where those votes came from. Sure. No, we could argue that. What you're not going to ever convince me of is that Joseph Robinette Biden, or whatever the hell the freak's name is, actually scored more votes than Barack Obama. You will never in a million years convince me of that. Says the rhetoric was central to his message to supporters ahead of their January 6, 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol. Overall, 34% of respondents said Biden had a better approach for handling extremism. What, by eating ice cream? Compared to 31% who said Trump, the frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination. The poll helps show the extent to which Biden's re-election bid could rely on voters being motivated by their opposition to Trump rather than enthusiasm over Biden's candidacy, because that's all he had would be opposition to Trump. Says Biden approval dips. Biden's approval rating in the poll, 37%. Give me a break. Was close to the lowest level of his presidency and down a percentage point from a month earlier. Yeah, why don't you tell us the truth? It's probably like 2%. 9 out of 10 Democrats approved of his performance. Oh my goodness. And the same share of Republicans disapproved, while independents were slightly skewed towards disapproval. They are so full of crap. But 44% of Democrats said extremism was their top issue, compared to 10% who said the economy, their second most picked concern. prior Reuters Ipsos polls did not include political extremism as an option for respondents to select as the country's biggest problem. That's awesome. That is awesome. Fetterman is in remission from being a Democrat. That is incredible. And true. Oh, man. How big is... Oh, I'm not gonna... Oh, wait. It's not that much bigger. Okay. Let's see. Trump has pleaded not guilty to all the charges he faces, which he claims are part of a conspiracy by Democrats to derail his return to the White House. I mean, they're saying this stuff, and it's like, dude, I'm not in the rat race, right? I mean, obviously, in one sense, I absolutely have a dog in the fight, but in another sense, I don't, because I won't be going. I won't be showing up at the ballot box. So, in a sense, I don't have a dog in the fight, and I'm telling you, this article's got a whole lot of nonsense in it, and a lot of the stuff they're claiming as conspiracies are absolute truth. Let's see. Trump has regularly launched verbal attacks against the prosecutors and judges handling his civil and criminal cases. And a Reuters review earlier this month found that serious threats to U.S. federal judges have more than doubled over the past 3 years. And you're going to blame Trump for that? While 38% of Republicans in the poll cited immigration as the top issue for the country, a significant portion, 13%, picked extremism, a sign that Trump's own claims about the danger of the nation posed by the far-left Democrats also resonate with his base. It's because they do. Oh, I don't know. Maybe since several cities in the United States were literally on fire for like an entire summer long. I don't know. That might be a little bit of extremism. The economy, which had suffered under high inflation for most of Biden's presidency, was the second biggest issue among Republicans, with 22% saying it weighed the most. The economy has long been a sore spot for Biden. 39% of poll respondents said Trump had a better approach to the economy compared to 33% who said Biden did. And again, I don't believe these poll numbers for a second. Trump led Biden 36% to 30% when it come to having a better approach for foreign conflicts. I don't believe that bullshit either, though few Democrats or Republicans consider those issues to be top national priorities. Are you kidding me? How do you even break that down? If you're approached and asked about what you're more concerned with this nation, I mean, my response is that every one of those issues is a big dumpster fire. Pretty much every single one of them. It's hard to rank that because so many of them are equally bad. Our foreign relations situation right now is a dumpster fire. The southern border, dumpster fire. Economy, dumpster fire. I mean, every single one of them are very, very serious issues. I think that you're actually doing a disservice by asking somebody to pick which one is worse, because they're all out of hand. I mean, way, way out of hand. And that's why I don't buy these numbers, not even for a second. Let's see. Reuters Ipsos poll gathered responses online from 1,020 Democrat adults. Okay, I didn't say the word Democrat, but I did. Using a nationally representative sample. And has a margin of error by about, most of the frickin' poll. Oh, they said 3 percentage points. Yeah. Oh, man. Not quite sure what's going on behind me back there, but it sounds interesting. Oh, goodness. I agree. I just looked up on the comments. Absolutely agree with this Friday. The left wing and right wing both on the same predatory bird. Abso-freaking-lutely. Let's see. The last article I have open. Do you know what that means? Time to do some headlines and go running out the door and screaming. And, well, taking trash out. Because it's that night. We don't have our new trash can either. And they better not take our old one. I'll be bitch slapping the trash. Oh, yeah, we got this whole new trash thing going on here in big town of Highland, Illinois. So I don't know all the details as to why the old trash company decided to up and just sell out, but he sold out to a different trash company. And so I guess the contract is renewing, and because the contract is renewing, now we are under the thumb of the new trash company, which means, like, okay, I'm totally against this nonsense. But they're going to be bringing us like 2 95-gallon trash containers. Well, one of them's trash, the other one's recycle. And this is absolutely insanity because it would literally take me 6 months to fill up a 95-gallon recycle container. And we recycle everything we can. We just don't have much waste. That's one thing that we have been conscious about, and that's something that we try to do and try to be good at, is not having a ton of waste. So each week, and I mean it's just the two of us in blue, but each week we have, typically any given week, we'll have one 13-gallon kitchen-sized trash bag of trash, and we've got a little blue bin for recycle, and most weeks we don't even have it filled halfway. So I could probably fit 6 months worth of recycle easy in that 95-gallon bin. And then for trash, we also have a 95-gallon bin, and 13-gallon bags would take it a little while to get that thing filled up. Not that we're going to wait for either one. I'll still take it out, well, the recycle's going to every other week, and then the trash should be every week. But now I've got to push out these big-ass bins, and I'm going to have to put them in my front yard now, because I have to have 5 feet around the stupid things so that the truck can get up to them and lift the stupid, because now it's a system now, and I'm sure probably many of you have already dealt with this, I guess. I don't know. But there's nobody that even gets out of the truck now. The truck pulls up, the truck grabs onto the trash bins and dumps it in. Nobody gets out, nothing like that. Now, the biggest reason why I'm against this, it's not the whole change thing. I could care less about that. But it's because of how many jobs that it's just absolutely taken away. And that's the part that bothers me. It really, truly is. Because that's most of your trash company employees right there that you're putting out of work. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, anyway, we got that going on. So, this week we're supposed to get, I guess it's this week, we're supposed to get our new trash bins. They better not take the old ones. Because we can use the old ones, which isn't theirs or anything. They're the ones, well, I can't say that we bought them. We rent. And so they were the ones that were here when we moved in. So we didn't buy them. But they belong, in my opinion, to the property. And they better not take them. I'll be pissed. Because we can still continue to use our own trash containers for yard waste. We're allowed to have up to eight cans of yard waste a week. Which I won't even fill one. But still. Alrighty. Let's do some headline and go running. Not really. I ain't running anywhere. Most of the time when that's what we, in a sense, that's what we do, because I just use the mower and just let it stay. If it's just now leaves, I'll anymore. What I do is I mulch up the leaves. They just stay in the yard. I just mulch the hell out of them. But most of the time, I don't have to worry about the leaves, and I just cut it. It just stays in the yard. I don't really do anything of it. Most of our pickup in the yard consists of just sticks. We got tons and tons of sticks. Let's see. All right. Ukrainian kamikaze drone kills 3 Russian civilians, says governor. That's actually one from yesterday. This is one I know I put out overnight. Local Girl Scout troop disbands over organization's response to fundraiser. And what it was is apparently, I can't remember exactly where they were from. I don't want to get that wrong. Let's see. Girl Scout Troop 149 is made up of 8 10-year-old girls whose families have emigrated to the U.S. from Pakistan, India, Palestine, Jordan, Syria, and Somalia. As the 2024 cookie selling season approached, the group and their parents decided they wanted to help children in Gaza and the West Bank instead of selling cookies. So basically, that's what they did. They started making and selling bracelets to help support help for the kids and stuff that's over there. And apparently, Girl Scout, the organization, wasn't very happy. I think they were given a little window that they could do it in, and then after that, they said no more. And so these individuals, and when I'm saying that, I'm speaking about the parents, the ones that run the show, essentially, decided just to ban from the Girl Scouts, and they're still continuing to what they're doing. And in fact, as a result of what the Girl Scouts did, they have really gotten a lot of support, a lot of attention. So this is great. This is teaching children on so many levels to do the right thing, and there's nothing but good that can come from that. So, let's see. Hazmat team called after white powder sent to Trump Jr. But see, we don't hear about that kind of extremism in that article, did we? Interesting. Most UK exporters hit by Red Sea crisis, says survey. Argentine oil producers rebel against Milei government. Russian security chief visits Cuba. Israel strikes deep inside Lebanon. Russia must be involved in Ukraine talks, says EU member. Bitcoin hits 2-year high. I saw that earlier. Oh, wow. So it's gotten really close to the 60,000 mark that it once was. I bet that's got pinball preparedness all kinds of pissed off. Hell, he hates Bitcoin. I think it's hilarious. I don't, that's another place. I don't have a dog in the fight. I abstain from Bitcoin because to me that's too much, too close to the whole one world currency, cashless society kind of stuff. So I abstain from it. But I don't hold it against anybody that does involve themselves. And in fact, I don't personally know, but I know of many individuals that came out smelling pretty damn sweet from cryptocurrency. And I think it's so hilarious when he loses his mind over it. I hear ya. is it? I guess it's Jim McKay, probably McKay man. Not as far as any type of crypto or anything like that, but pretty much everything we do is electronic, meaning with the debit card, PayPal, stuff like that. But aside from that, yeah, I don't want anything to do with the cryptos or anything like that. No, absolutely not. Let's see. EU nations PM decries martial mood at Ukraine meeting. Ukrainian chemical terror attack thwarted, says FSB. Oh, JJ, okay, that works. Let's see. Where was it? Okay. EU citizens. Oh, I covered that article this morning. I'll read the headline again. EU citizens must tighten belts to deter Russia, says member state. U.S. Army calls Russia the enemy. Ukrainian imports costing EU farmers billions, says official. France creates coalition to arm Ukraine with long-range weapons. Yeah, this is insanity here. OnlyFans models post raunchy shots on Instagram using breastfeeding loophole. Absolutely insane. Right? And, oh, well, we can't do nothing about that. But yet, how dare us question something going on in politics or with government, right? It's crazy. Let's see. Moscow estimates Kiev's military losses. EU's Russia sanctions massively circumvented, says a study. Kremlin reacts to Macron's remarks on NATO troops in Ukraine. Now we're going to run into a lot of articles I already covered. Russian military confirms destruction of Ukrainian Abrams tank. Pardon me. Right on, Jason. Right on. Yeah, you couldn't be any more right on that. Let's see. EU state threatens to neutralize Russian region. Yeah, JJ, that is absolutely true, man. Absolutely true. It's the entire world. And what's really nuts is it's like there's a lot of the same things going on in a lot of different places. And I just don't think that's completely organic. Let's see. Russian companies embark on massive expansion to friendly countries. Let's see. Russia to restrict gasoline exports, says RBK. We already know about the tank that got blown up. Pardon me. New version of Russian traitor pilot's assassination revealed. British censors change Mary Poppins rating. Yes. Mary Poppins has been censored. Let's see. Trump plans to reform CIA and FBI, says Politico. More the reason to put him in office. Biden, because everybody needs to know about this. Biden reveals his plans for 2020. Unbelievable. Let's see. Catastrophic scenario if NATO troops deploy to Ukraine, says top Russian senator. Let's see. And this is, I got one more up there. EU leaders scared to death by Trump, says Biden. And then, hang on, got one up here. A U.S. border a bigger priority than Ukraine, says Republican leader. And again, how do you even... I'm going to share that out real quick. How do you even make choices like that. I think we're in a time and place to where we need to abstain from the what is worst contest and say we need to deal with all the stuff like stat. We're in a bad way. We are absolutely in a bad way in so many directions. And I don't know. I don't see an easy way out. Even if Trump gets back in office, man, is this a hell of a mess for him to sweep up. But anyway, I am going to get out of here and get the trash out. And God willing, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll talk about some more nonsense. So I appreciate everybody coming. Hope to see you tomorrow. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom. Good night, folks.